Welcome to our half hour of Be Gentle Yoga. So we're going to begin lying down. If you're starting your day, this is a great way to do that. If you're ending your day, it's also a great way to start. So take a rolled blanket and place it at the 3/4 point on your mat, towards the top of your mat. And take your hands and help yourself down to recline position and allow the blanket is going to be below your shoulder blades and at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, and the shoulder sockets, the top of the shoulders, are rolling off the mat. For the beginning part of the pose, you should keep your soles of the feet on the floor. So keep those soles of the feet on the floor and the knees bent, and gently push towards the bottom of the mat with your feet. And then you'll feel the top part of your body nudge up towards the top part of the mat. And then your shoulder blades, your shoulder sockets may roll more towards the floor, which is ideal. You can keep your arms in cactus, or you can keep them in a T position. What we're doing right away here is allowing more breath capacity and a settling in of the breath and getting to know the breath in a different position. So if you want to take a moment to get comfortable, you can do that too. Make sure that it's under your shoulder blades and that the shoulder sockets are rolling onto the floor and you feel that support behind the heart. So we'll begin our breath work here. Close the eyes, cut out the visual distractions. You can now straighten your legs if you like, or keep your knees bent. If that's better on your lower back, you can also take the knees together and the feet a little wider than hip width. Begin to observe the breath. Find your breath. You don't have to change the breath, just notice what quality your breath has today. Perhaps it's cool as it enters your nose, warms up, and then on the exhale, you feel that warmth out the mouth or the nose. Feel as you breathe that the back of your ribs expand as well into that blanket. And as you exhale, everything releases. Beginning our practice together with the basics of yoga, the breath. And now with a more conscious breath, so giving some more attention to our breath and leaving that autonomic to work itself, we'll pay attention to that inhale and filling the belly, the consciousness of filling the belly and the ribs in all directions when we inhale. And then lengthen your exhale to a few beats more than your inhale. Notice when you lengthen the exhale, it allows for a bigger inhale. Expel all that air out. That awareness of breath, calming the nervous system, calming the physical body. On your next exhale, you can roll over onto your side and move the blanket over to the side. Come back onto your back and take the legs out long, and then take the arms next to your ears. So imagine that you're standing up. So at first your feet are standing in flex position, and then you reach up through those fingertips above the head, really lengthening out the sides of the body from the fingertips to the toes. And then you can point the feet to and flex and point and flex. Noticing the difference when you do that along the whole line of the body. And then let's take them back to kind of a relaxed foot. So out to the side, and begin to pump your feet. So just pump as if you're stepping on the gas. And pump both feet. You can see my feet here. Great. And this kind of gets the lymph system moving. Beautiful. And then take the knees and bend those knees again. And we'll take a tiny little awareness of our stability here. So let's take the arms next to the body and press the full length of the arms into the mat, and you'll feel the shoulders roll towards the mat, opening up those chest muscles. And notice where your feet are and just press the feet into the mat, adding a bit of more foundation for your reclined position. Your skull is in line with the sacrum. And you want to imagine that there is a tight wetsuit around your core. So from the pelvis all the way up through the ribs, you have a support system. Those are called your muscles, but actually, if you can just imagine something else around them, sort of a corset effect, that will help you keep that awareness. You have your lower spine lifting off the mat, so that natural lumbar curve. Here we are in perfect posture, lying down. Inhale and exhale, keeping that stability in your core. Can you lift your right foot an inch off the floor? And then place it down. Inhale and lift the left foot off the floor an inch or so, and then put it down. Try that again with the right side, with the inhale and the exhale guiding your movement. And notice the lower abdominals are engaged. The low ribs, you want to tuck those in towards the mat so that they stabilize those big core muscles as you repeat the foot motion here. Continue the path of breath. And then begin to lift your feet up a little bit more if that works for you. So you're sort of pedaling your feet. Up and down, all the while keeping that beautiful posture. Bring the knee a little more towards the body and keep the knees at a right angle, so the legs are at a right angle this whole time. The hinging is at the hips. And we're getting a mini core workout here. And if you'd like to test this, you can tap when you come down with your foot, you can tap the mat instead of bringing the whole foot down. Just seeing if you could take a little weight off the feet. Pointing the feet and tapping down as you bring the foot down to the mat. Nice. Continue the breath and feel that core wake up. Nice long exhales. Nice. Let's bring both feet down. Expand out long again. Let's stretch the legs out and the arms, making those muscles super long, especially the ones that connect the legs and the torso. And then roll over onto your right side and we'll come up to seated. You can choose what seated position you want. If you want to sit in cross-legged, you'll want to sit up on the edge of a blanket or a block. And you can also kneel, but let's make sure that as you practice the seated position, changing the spine, we take the hands to the lower back and notice if there's a curve in the lower back. If there's no curve there, you want to sit up higher on so that the sits bones are anchored, supporting that lift and that arch in the spine, which allows the lift up to the rest of the spine towards the sky. So take the hands to the thighs at first, noticing that we've changed positions. The head is rising up towards the sky as you anchor through that pelvic bowl, rooting into the earth. And take the hands to the low ribs. So as you lift your heart up towards the sky, as you lift the heart up towards the front of your room, you also feel those low ribs tuck in towards the spine a little bit. When you do that, you might notice those middle core muscles engage. So try to see if you can hold that today, and that nice support through those lower ribs, keeping that stable. Inhale, drop the arms and sweep them up towards the sky. Let's touch some clouds. Look up towards your hands, feeling positive energy ball drop into your hands. And then look forward, bring the hands together. Let's take steeple fingers. So index finger pointing up, other fingers clasped. And from here, we'll take a nice, luxurious side stretch. As we lean over to the right, noticing that the left sits bone stays anchored, allowing for a deeper stretch. Inhale back up. Exhale, sweep over to the left. Notice the right sits bone. Give your attention and intention that it stays grounded. And then sweep back up. Inhale up and exhale to the side. Enjoying this like a palm tree in the breeze. And to the other side. We can really give our side bodies a message, trying it one more time, encouraging the fascia, the connective tissue, to release a little bit more, spend a little extra moment here. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing, and then coming up again. Try that on the left. As you inhale, feel that lift through the rib cage, and as you exhale, feel the release towards the floor. And then come back up. Beautiful. And then take the fingertips to the tops of the shoulders, and we'll make circles with our elbows. A further effort to unslouch ourselves. Take the circles behind you. And then take all the circles in front of you. And then take your fingers towards each other so your elbows are out like blades beside you. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And keeping those fingertips towards each other, let's begin to twist the elbows to the right and the rib cage and the shoulders, and then twist over to the left. Using that pointing elbow to guide our direction in this twist, right and left. Notice you're squeezing the air out when you twist, recovering on that inhale as you come back to center. Nice. Beautiful. Now bring your fingertips beside you. Feel that extra support of your spider hands on the floor. Feel that extra space in your spine already. And we'll look over the right shoulder, feeling that neck range. Inhale deeply through center, and then exhale to the left. Look to center, and then look up at the sky. Look down at your heart. Drop the head. Just keep the shoulders tall. And then slide your chin across your right shoulder, your right collarbone towards your right shoulder. Trace that back to center and keep the chin on the left collarbone towards the left shoulder. Trace it back to center. Lift the head up gently. And we'll take our right ear towards the right shoulder. Take that lift through the inhale back to center and then exhale to the left. Left ear toward left shoulder. Softening your movement with the breath. And float back up. Release the fingertips. Come to briefly to all fours. So I don't think we'll need to cushion our knees. We'll be here very briefly. So take that blanket aside. Come to all fours. We're doing a brief standing pose, but starting in our all fours. Curl the back toes under and we'll move toward a downward dog. Take the fingertips, take the hands and palms about 2 inches in front of you from that all fours position. Curl the back toes under. Keep the knees about hip width apart and the feet. And lift the knees off the mat. Lift the rib cage towards the thighs. They'll touch as your head relaxes between those elbows. Exhale. Keep the knees bent. Begin to straighten your right leg and bring your right foot, right heel down towards the mat. Lift up, bend the right leg and begin to straighten the left leg and just alternate, bringing those heels down towards the earth as you press long with your fingertips, through your fingertips and arms and your hands to make your spine even taller and longer. Beautiful. Now, take both heels towards the mat as much as you can. Exhale. Walk the feet towards your hands, towards the top of your mat. Even if you want to keep your knees bent, that's okay. And take the head and relax that. Look at the world upside down. Take your hands to your hips, and we're going to inhale into a flat back so that the body's in an L shape. And we'll take a brief standing sequence here, inhaling up to standing. I'll adjust the camera a bit. Thank you. Stand at the top of the mat. And then we'll sweep the arms up above the head. Just to get long in this tall position, I'm just reaching up through my hands. And then exhale, let's take the hands to the side. The feet are hip width apart, so we're in mountain pose, making that beautiful footprint in the sand. And then with that strong energy coming up between the feet, between the arches of the feet, there's a light shining up through the center of the body. So you've got that wonderful spine alignment and support in your core. Those low ribs, again, tuck them in. Great. With this core stability, you keep that evenness through the hips as we bend the right knee, begin to bend the right knee. We're doing a knee lift. So just begin to take that right foot off the floor. Inhale the knee up into a right, so the leg is in a right angle. Beautiful. So you're in a balance here. Make sure that left glute is engaged. Exhale. Let's take that foot down, point the right leg forward, point the foot. And we're going to trace a line next to the body, next to the left foot. So we're going to do a little horse paw here. So we'll take that right foot pointed in front of you and drag that foot back behind you, straight leg, and then bend the knee. If you have any confusion, you can just look at the knee here. Inhaling, I'm lifting up, exhaling and tracing, noticing the stability as I do this. Noticing any challenges. And then come back to mountain pose. Briefly regain that stability. And then we'll take that same weight, lift the right foot off the floor, step back into a high lunge. So you're going to curl the back toes under. It may take a moment as I find my own stability here. Stand strong through your left foot and begin to bend the left knee towards the middle two toes. So the back leg is straight, that back right leg is straight, and you're reaching through that back heel, high lunge. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Lengthening out again through the side bodies. Magnetize your feet together, bringing yourself into that center. Beautiful. And then swan dive your arms down. We'll come into a low lunge around the left foot. Spider hands. If you'd like to press through those fingertips, or you can just place your fists down. Low lunge. Make it long, check in with the hips and make sure they're even before you can now tiptoe your back foot forward into a forward bend. So bring the right foot to meet the left. Keep the knees bent if that's better for your lower back. And then we're gonna take those hands to the hips, hinge up to L shape, flat back, sweep up to the front, reach up to the sky with the arms, and then bring them down to the side. We'll take the opposite. So we're gonna take that weight even, right? Even hips, even glutes, but the weight this time will go into the right foot and we'll lift the left foot off the floor, bend the knee lift, stabilize here. And then point the left foot forward and drag that left foot next to the right in our horse gesture. Drag behind you, straighten that left leg as it comes behind you. Notice the hips want to wobble. Try to keep those bigger muscles engaged so that you can stay in that beautiful alignment in our mountain pose on the right side. Inhale and exhale, nice and long. And then come back to mountain pose. Nice and warm through the legs. Take that same core weight into the right side. Sweep the left leg behind you and curl those back toes under. Bend the front knee towards the middle two toes. The pelvis will drop. You're lengthening your left side so you can feel it from the left heel all the way up the leg. And then sweep the arms up to the sky. Maybe you feel some more stretch on one side than the other. Drop the shoulders away from the ears if they've started to creep up. And then swan dive your arms down around that right leg. Come into a low lunge. Magnetize the feet and even out those hips. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And then tiptoe your left foot forward to meet the right. And from here, keep the knees bent. Support your hands beneath you as you bring yourself back down to the mat. Bring those sits bones down. And here we are on a reclined position again. Okay, great. Beautiful. All right, so let's bring those knees together and the feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. So our legs, our knees are bent. Take a moment here to feel the warmth you've created and the new connections. Take your right hand to your heart and your left hand to your belly as the shoulders drop towards the earth. Connect with your breath, find the breath again. Can you lengthen your exhale even more than before? If you notice areas of tension lingering, send attention there, send breath. And now take the arms and reach them along the ears. So like we began there, first start of the class, reach the arms along above the head, and then take the thumbs into the elbow creases. So as if you were looking up at the clouds in the sky, just take those forearms above the head. And let's take the right knee and trace the left shin on the left shin towards the left foot. And trace it back up. We'll take our crazy legs position here. Take the left knee and trace the right shin towards the right foot. And alternate, so this should be a nice relief on the lower back. If you lengthen, exhale, as the knee goes down, you really release the tension in the lower back especially. So let's coordinate this with the elbows. So we'll take the elbows over to the side as they're above our head, just towards the right and the left in the opposite direction of the knees. And as you do that, you might feel that the side of the bodies expand even more. And then you can bring the forearms above your face and take that same path with the elbows. And you can roll the head side to side along with those legs. You can take your eyes and watch your elbows. And then bring that movement, slow it down, and let's drape those arms next to the body towards our resting position, active rest. Let's take those legs out long and just allow the feet to drop out to the side, palms up to the sky. That will allow the shoulders to roll away from the ears. You can even grab the sides of your mat and pull down with your fists towards the bottom of the mat, really releasing those shoulders even more. Close the eyes. Inhale, a huge inhale, and sigh everything out. Sigh out all your tension. Welcoming in new energy with your inhale. Expelling any stale energy out with your exhale. Any debris that may have formed, just exhale it out. Each breath, a new opportunity to change your energy, setting the intention of what you want to invite in through the breath. Luxuriate in a few more conscious inhales and exhales. And allow yourself to help yourself up with your hands. We'll meet again in our seated position. Take the hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra. Prayer position in front of the heart. Feeling that stability inside as you rise up towards the sky through the crown of the head, grounding through those beautiful sits bones, the bottom of our spine. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste.